Frightened of change, but what can exist without it? This quote comes from an ancient friend of ours who lived 2,000 years ago. His name was Marcus Aurelius. Now, Marcus Aurelius realized all the way 2,000 years ago, he realized all the way back then that change is an essential and inevitable part of life. He also realized, looking around him, and probably looking inside himself too, that everybody, or if not most people, were either scared of change or trying to avoid change and not realizing how inevitable it is and how ingrained it is into everything. Change is just in everything, both physical and existential. Our ideas, our fears, everything we love, everything is under a state of change. And this is why we must develop a healthy relationship with it. We must try and develop a healthy relationship with it. Because if we don't, then we're going to spend most of our lives, scared and running from something that we cannot run away from. Something that will be a part of us forever. Our physical bodies are obviously under change. All physical objects are under change. Our lives are constantly changing. You can't have life without change. Growth, development, production, it's all change. And we have to accept that. We have to accept that our lives are going to change over and over and over again. Our relationships, our ideas, and hopefully our beliefs and how we go about life. Hopefully we're constantly rethinking and changing the way we do things because everything else is changing. Now, some things may not seem like they're in a constant state of change because it's just a very slow, rate of change. We're not alive very long on this planet. We can't see everything changing. If you look at a rock, it looks like it's not changing, but it is. Slowly but surely, it is changing under a constant state of change. Nothing can exist without change. There is nothing in this universe that is not undergoing a state and it's not undergoing change in any way. It's all moving and turning into something different. The way I like to think about it when it comes to us on our personal lives is that life is like a river. Time is a river. It's a flowing river. And we're all in that river and we're all flowing down it. We're all constantly moving down the river. We're in the same spot for not even a second. Every second you think about it, am I in the same spot? And am I in the same spot? You're not. You're in a new place over and over and over again. Now, if we resist change, if we try and ignore it, if we try and keep our lives exactly the same, it's like hanging on to a boulder in the middle of the river. Yeah, you're there, but life is moving past you. Everything is going past you, and you're falling behind. And you're scraping against the rock, you're holding as tight as you can, exhausting yourself. It's miserable. Once you let go and accept the fact that everything in life, including your life, is going to change and that you have to embrace that. Once you start embracing it and accept it, then you're just flowing down the river. Life is going to take you wherever it's going to take you, and there's nothing you can do about it. God has laid down his path. He has laid the flow of the river, the path of the river. And the easiest way to come to peace is to accept that and just let the river carry you. You're going to develop new friendships. You're going to develop new relationships. You're going to move to different places, new environments, different things. And I know the hardest thing about this is that a lot of us love the way our life is at some point. We get comfortable. We get situated in a certain way of life or a certain friend group or a certain place that we live in. And it's scary to think about the fact that one day it might have to change and that it will change. That we're going to have to move, that we're going to lose friends and gain new ones, that this relationship might not be the best for us and that we have to leave it and go find another one. Moving different states, across states or countries, that's change, and it can be very scary, and I completely understand that. But once we accept the fact that we have to keep on flowing down the river, that we have to let change take our lives and turn it into whatever it's going to be, then we can be happy and we can find peace. And it's a good thing too, because in a sense we're dying every day. The person we were yesterday is gone. We've changed into a new person today. And in the next hour, if you think back to the person you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, everything has changed since then. You are a different person. That person is dead. It's a form of death. Change is constantly killing things and creating new things. We cannot live without it. And it's beautiful because some things need to die. Most things need to change or die, if not everything. It needs to become something new. It needs to become something better. It's inevitable and it's essential. If you think about plants, if you've ever gardened, plants are constantly in a state of change, growing and changing and becoming something bigger and better. It's kind of like our lives. We start off as a little seed, and then as we get older, we grow our roots into the ground, and we change, we get bigger, we grow more leaves. But if we resist that, and if we avoid all the opportunities life throws at us, all the opportunities that God has laid out for us, because we're scared of changing, we're scared of something new, we're scared of new opportunities and new adjustments to life, then we stop growing. Then we avoid or try to avoid the inevitable. But you can't hang on to that rock in the river forever. You can't hang on to whatever it is that's keeping you comfortable, that's keeping you away from change forever. Whether you want to or not, you're going to have to change. And so my advice to you to find peace and comfort with this is just to let the river carry you down. Accept whatever fate throws at you. Accept the change that your life is going to go through and the changes that it's going to go through after that and after that. Accept that your body is changing every day. When you're young to 25 years old, it's changing in a good way. And then after 25, it starts, when it comes to your body, changing in a bad way. You get older, you start deteriorating. You grow and then deteriorate. And that's just an essential part of life. And accepting that is a beautiful thing and a way to find peace. And once you start seeking out change, you can become a better person because you can't grow. You can't grow without change. You can't be, if you want to improve yourself and become a better person, if you recognize that you're not happy with who you are, then you have to change. And letting change happen to you, choosing it instead of it choosing you and it forcing you along, is far better than being forced. That's just some of my advice today on change. I saw that Marcus Aurelius quote, frightened of change, but what can exist without it? And it just wanted to make a video about it. So I hope you appreciated that. Have a good day.